Hi, I'm Brad.
I'm John. Well, Baby Metal has decided to do it again. They've gone out and have another game of Pokemon, so they can do catch 'em all, and it's kind of what it seems like. It seems like they're basically doing a lot of collaborations with people at the minute.
Okay. It's been a while since we've done anything from them.
Well, it hasn't been that long, I don't think. Yeah.
Seems like it.
But
no,
the last
time flies. So.
But the last several things that they've done have all been, they've all been collaboration videos. So in this time, they've decided to join up with some shouty metal, or growly metal, shouty, growly, one or the other. And the group is called Slaughter To Prevail.
Okay.
I hadn't heard of them in that way that, I had heard of them kind of thing. I haven't heard anything from Slaughter To Prevail, but I've heard the name Slaughter To Prevail in the past kind of thing. So it's sort of like, when I read it, it's kind of like, oh, never have actually listened to anything from them, but I knew they existed, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it kind of does. I don't know they existed, so now I do.
Yes, now you do. Well, and of course, this song is obviously a sequel to a Blur song. Okay, it's not. But, back in the 90s, I think we've actually done this song. I think we reacted to it once at some point in time. We reacted to Blur's Song 2.
Oh.
This is Song 3.
Okay.
So, it's only taken over 20 years for Song 3 to appear, but,
By a totally different band.
By a totally different band, completely unrelated, etc., etc. But, I had to get that random, weird plug in because...
The Blur plug.
It's the random connection I made off of the song title.
All right, let's check it out before we do. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe.
Check out the description down below. You're going to find all our links, information, stuff that we have down there. Okay. Metal.
All right.
This is actually probably the most metal, baby metal that we've actually reacted to.
It is or isn't?
Is.
Oh, okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure anyway. We'll find out. Okay, so my grasp of the language is actually somewhat terrible, but I think part of the lyric there is actually 1, 2, 3. Another part of the lyric is obviously the mention of the word 3, I think. So, answers on a postcard, or preferably down in the comments below. Is that vaguely right, or am I completely wrong on that one? Because, like I said, my grasp of the language is not very good.
It's always shocking to see them do this kind of music.
Yeah. Which is strange, technically, because obviously they are a metal group.
Yeah.
But we've done so many... Not that they weren't metal, but most of the things that we've reacted to that Baby Metal has done has been on the softer side of metal, Where this,
But even that, it's kind of like you just, not to stereotype anyone, but it's like they just look like young, wholesome women. And then it's like, and then the
True.
song starts playing, it's like,
yeah, that is true.
yeah.
But in a way, I think part of it is you almost want to say they actually play on that stereotype for that reason.
Well, yeah.
Probably. Someone in the comments is going to go, no. You always think, well, if you're not used to hearing it, you always think that it's kind of one of those, wow, that singing must really be destroying his doing that. And of course, weirdly enough, it's one of those, nope, actually not. You'd think it, but yeah, it's combination of technique and practice and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's actually very sustainable to sing in that style. I mean, otherwise, a lot of these bands would really go through lead singers quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I said, from the things we've reacted to so far, it's definitely a journey into the much heavier side of metal than we're used to from BABYMETAL.
Right.
I'm really curious now as to whom their next release is going to be with.
Oh. Metallica?
Actually, that would be kind of interesting in lots of different ways, to be
Because
honest.
didn't they do Inner Sandman? Or was that?
Was that?
Or
No,
that
that was Bandmade.
I can do it too.
That's true. because they did the one with Daft Punk, they did this one, they did the one with Poppy, that I think was the last one that we reacted to. I think there's another one in there that we might have missed, maybe. Should probably actually look, because I'll probably run back and actually grab that one if we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really curious as to, who's next?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, there's a lot of really interesting pair-ups that, they could be a part of, so
and
to
they all
speak.
seem to work.
Yeah, amazingly well together.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, didn't they do one with The Warning as well? Or was that Bandmade?
Oh, yeah, that may have been Bandmade too.
Yeah, because The Warning toured either with Babymetal or Bandmade.
Yeah, I think it was Bandmade.
It could have been Bandmade.
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That one's been a fair while, yeah. But I remember that.
Too many other things.
Whichever one it was, I remember they did release one with The Warning as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it was a good video too, because you just don't have good videos anymore either.
Yeah. Well, typically American groups, we should say, don't tend to have.
That's true.
Because obviously you don't get too much more, mainstream group. Well, actually, no, there are several more mainstream groups than Babymetal, but seriously mainstream. So
right. So, well, yeah, we're definitely going to have to not wait so long in between and hit them up some more. So if you're going to see those, make sure you hit that like, subscribe.
Please comment your suggestions down below, and if you hit the notification bell, YouTube will tell you when we do the suggestions that you commented down below.
And until then, thanks for watching.